G'day everyone, welcome along, welcome to Steel Horse Station. We might as well get this show on the road. We've got everything organised. I think all the dials are showing me the right sign. There's a couple of you there, so welcome along. Great to have you in. Let's jump across to the Oaks. So... g'day Jack Sarge, good to see you. John sounds like he's with us for a short time, hopefully a good time before he heads off to work in a little while. Now let's just start with an update. So I've moved things along a little bit and doing a lot better with, so as you can see, we've got 830,000 litres in the bunker. I've changed to a roller and weight, and I'm having much better success. So good news is that the combination is working well. We're about 74% compacted. I had probably 470,000 litres in here, and then I cut that field again and topped it up. So I had the 470,000 completely compacted, and he's just getting a little caught there. But it seems to be working much better, which is great. And this one round here is fully... Turn on pressure washer. What pressure washer? I'm miles from the pressure washer. Bizarre. There is no pressure washer over here. So we can take the blanket off there. And how much silage have we ended up with in here? We have... let's go here to silage. So we've got 216,000, which was the reduced level we got to last time before we covered it up. And you'll see we've got some bales, so I'll sort that out. While we were at it, I did the 2 harvest contracts, because you might notice we've rolled into September. Because I wanted to get to our field. We might leave him compacting there and go and get our harvester sorted out down the road here. And I thought I'd do a little bit of an experiment. There were a couple of baling contracts around, and I thought, particularly while I was trying to figure out the bunker silo, maybe we could get the rest of the family to work on a baling contract in parallel with the harvests we were doing, and that ended up working quite nicely. We can't take much more harvest until we get more transport and potentially another harvester. We're kind of at the limit of the number of harvest contracts that we can pursue, but we have pretty good equipment for getting everything else sorted, particularly when it comes to baling. So now we just need a bigger tractor, which is what doing all this work is about. And if we open up that silage blanket today, we should be able to sell the silage and get another blanket, get enough money for another tractor. I haven't looked yet today. We can do that right this minute to see. There's a wheel loader that would have been pretty handy a couple of years down the track. This Kubota planter might be a good way to go. We could double our planting width, and we've got a small tractor that we could put it on. Pleasantview Farms, welcome along, sir. Great to have you in. Hope you are doing very well. Monday evening here in Australia. It's been a public holiday here in Melbourne today, and an absolutely gorgeous autumn day. 23 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. That is Celsius, of course. The other thing that might be interesting, I'm kind of intrigued to pick up this sprayer. I know it means we'd need to get the truck that it goes on, the D754, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that'd fit well into the farm. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not doing very well with tractor options. Neither of these are the sort of thing we want to be going for. Ooh. Now that would be an interesting pickup. Potentially, that was, it has Pleasant View, but I don't keep score, and people in the real world have jobs to do and all sorts of fun things. So I just keep chipping away, and you never know, people pop in when they're around. But in terms of that, I'm not sure we can come up. We can't buy this without sorting out a large tractor. And if it was sugar beets rather than potatoes, it'd be even more interesting. But keeping an eye on this Kubota and the sprayer, they could fit in quite handily potentially, but let's, for the moment, let's keep knocking out this harvest. In fact, what we might do, let's do a couple of laps. And then we can potentially put it on one of the kids to run it backwards and forwards. So the baling contract that's up there on, I think it's field 87. Is 87? Let's have a look here. It was nearby and it wasn't too big. So yeah, 87, just over here. We're here. We're harvesting field 61 at the minute. But yeah, 87 was down here. And so the bales are all done. They're about half wrapped. And then we've got another contract on 75. And if you compare them to 76, which is our field, they both would have fitted into field 76. So that's why, in terms of you know, how do we go with the baling contract? Harold thought it was worth a crack. The kids have been doing pretty well. We've still got straw bales there to pick up. So all in all, things are pretty good. We're staying afloat, I think, is the most important thing, and we're on the verge of getting a good kick along financially. So that having gotten to the bottom of what was screwing up in the bunkers, that 800,000 that we've got that's about to start fermenting, that'll be a handy, tidy little sum of cash that will give us some real options as we approach Christmas. So we'll just have to see how things go. Meanwhile, we've got some crop in the silo now. The position I reach with the silo, if you look closely, we might do it next time we're passing through, but those, the way the silo arrangement's set up in the end of that shed that we put in, looks like there's kind of 2 bins built into the wall at the end. So the way I'm treating it is we've got storage for 2 crop, which based on the contracts we've done, there's a little bit of barley in one side and oats on the other. So that's kind of how we'll go for the minute. Now we'll be looking to sell those when the prices increase, but we're not under as much pressure as we were last year to tip them out as quickly as possible. And because we've had a bit more time to sort of think as we've progressed those harvests and got that bunker issue sorted, thinking I've got a firmer idea on the order of March, if you like. I'm thinking that we definitely need a bigger tractor. There's every way you look at it. We just it's costing us a lot of money now to run the 3670 at its maximum, the Massey. When we have it on the forage wagon, it's really working hard and pretty much, you know, filling that bunker racked up another sort of $6,000 worth of maintenance on it, so, or 6,000 quid. So yeah, the oats I think will do us really nicely, and I'm a bit of a porridge fan myself. It's my staple morning breakfast. So oatmeal for the pleasant views of the world. So I'm thinking tractor is the first choice, and we need ideally somewhere between 250 and 300 horsepower, up in that sort of range, to make sure that it'll run the double mowers and that it'll run the forage wagon properly. Then probably our next priority is a bigger windrower, so that when we do cut grass and all those sorts of activities, we've got the ability to row it up, ideally 3 to 1 rather than the 2 to 1 that we're doing at the minute, because that'll just mean the time on field for all of our equipment is reduced. And then we need cartage capacity, so it's quite clear from the couple of contract harvests we've done that when the truck and trailers are off delivering, the size of the map means that pretty much our harvest is sitting there waiting for them to come back, and so that's just inefficient. And with the number of options for other vehicles, tractors and like that we can have working, having more cartage capacity, even just selling our silage, is pretty important. And so that's where looking a bit at the D754 as potentially fitting on this map quite neatly, but it's not cheap if we've got to wait for a new one, and that's where I thought, well, maybe buying the back for it. So if we come across here, if you're not sure the one I'm talking about, I think it's a mod that's been around in the past. It's not a lot different to what we're running, but it's just got a few more configuration options and kind of looks like it'll fit in our setting. And there are a few different backs you can get for it, which makes it pretty flexible. But at 90,000, by the time we put a Don't know that I'd put a front 3-point on it. I'd definitely put a back hitch potentially. But that's something that's worth looking at, I think. Don't know what you guys reckon. They're still a bit cheaper than the MAN equivalents or the Volvos, which I think are just beyond our reach for now. Maybe the Scania. And I didn't want to use the Unimogs because we're using them on Newlands. I wanted to be a bit different. I also wasn't really sure how many Unimogs you'd find on working farms in the UK. I would imagine there'd be some. So that's generally how I've been thinking through the equipment situation. Also, with this baling contract, collecting the bales is the only thing. Whoops, we're full. Where is our truck? Hiding down there by the looks. Let's get in the cab. That might be the easiest. Where are we? We've got no... So we did the delivery, which is how we finished the contract. I must have interrupted. I don't want to do that. I want to drive to field. No, there you go. Very interesting, John. Field 27 farm, no. Putney main yard will do for the minute. So while we're waiting for an unload, we can duck across here and do a couple more bale wraps. So this end of the field is done. As you can see, there's not too many left. And so this was the other thing that was in mind with taking this contract, is maybe this is the way to get into and afford a bale loader. I'm thinking of the round Anderson trailer, which would sort of fit in quite nicely with the equipment that we've got. Picks up round bales nicely, so it complements our McHale, which is the baler we're going to have for a little while. And it means finishing these contracts and getting our own jobs done becomes straightforward. And so what I've done with that in mind is I've added my version of the lease to own mod. So I don't think realistically they can afford to be buying the trailer. The Anderson trailer's 50 grand right off the bat. But the financial position is improved, so a hire purchase lease is not out of the question. And the reason that I modified the mod is just so that it's not to make it marginally more realistic. So the way it works straight out of the mod hub, effectively it just defers the cost, so it's quite a cheaty way to play, in my opinion. So I've just modified the calculation to add a premium into the price. So if you want to buy out the lease, you in effect pay, I think I set it at 18% more than the original purchase. So you still get the benefit. You can still return it. It works exactly the same. It's just the payout figure. It takes a year or so before the amount you've actually contributed reduces the buyout to be less than the original purchase of the vehicle, which I think is a fair bit more realistic. So I'm thinking that might be the way we pick up the trailer, which we can sort out once we've finished wrapping these bales. So that's lots of bits and pieces. What do people think? Does it prompt any ideas or suggestions? I know a lot of people catch this stream on replay, so there's plenty of opportunities to interact in the comments if you want. Influence where the direction we're taking the Putney family. But it is pleasing to have some progress on the bunker silo issue, so because we would have lost the best part of 500,000 litres of grass so far, just with the issues that seem to be introduced by the combination of that leveler and horseplay. What I'm planning to do, if people are interested, is I haven't decided how to do it, but at least a video comparing the performance of bunker silos and bunker equipment, and I'll do it on Elm Creek to take out any vagaries of a mod map. But I've kind of got two thoughts again. I'd invite comments or suggestions. Part of me is thinking maybe I should do it as a stream, because it'll be quite lengthy and lots of little bits. The disadvantage of a stream is it's a bit harder to fast forward, but I can always turn, if I video the stream, I can always turn the stream footage into a shortened video afterwards, which I've never done before, so that would be an interesting experiment in itself. Yes, you can wrap using Courseplay, so you can see that. Oh, I can't actually. What I'll do is it works exactly the same. I did the first few in this field. I did doing that. So if you've got a wrapper attached to the tractor, as you can see there, Courseplay will come up and default to the wrapping option. And if we go to create a job, there's Courseplay collect and wrap. Now, it still needs to know what field you're on and where you want to start, and what you want to collect or wrap. So you can tell it, for instance, you only want to collect the wrapped bales and it'll leave others behind. And it'll run around and get them. Now, I have found it's not foolproof. It works pretty well, but bales being bales, are lots of opportunities for the tractor to get stuck on a bale, and sometimes the course resolves outside the field, which means objects on the boundary can sometimes get in the way. So for instance, There's a situation. So because you don't know the direction it's approaching a bale, it might finish this one here, for instance, and then decide that the next one it's got to do is over there. But in order to do it, it builds a course, which is potentially, we'd look at it and say, well, that's not the way to do it. But it would build a course that might take it out here. Well, there's a collision on that hedge in that spot. Yeah, all the way down the side there, there's a collision on the hedge. Unfortunate example. But in doing so, let's imagine there wasn't a collision on the hedge. It'd try to loop around that tree. It'd see the collision on the tree, but it'd get that bale wrapper because of that prong out the side hooked on the tree. Oh, that's an interesting idea, Jack Sarge. I need to think about how to set that up. But definitely doable. So let's fold you up. We can send you back to the farm. It'd be interesting to break that into the components. I think I still want to do the comparison of bunkers first, because then when I know that I've got a known quantity in terms of working bunkers and compaction, then it becomes a better proposition to do that test. Off the top of my head, well, there's a bunch of variables, which is what makes it a really interesting topic. So I will keep that in mind and expand the thought process. Potentially that again lends itself to a stream, because if I pick the right area on Elm Creek, I can set a whole bunch of activities up beforehand, and then we can run a stream and collect the data in chunks and then put it all together. So okay, I can feel an idea coming together there. Thank you for the thought. Let's go. Let's send you to Putney delivery. Let's go up. I am thinking now. So if we go to the bale loader. So that's the one I'm thinking of that would fit in quite nicely. Just the base game. Plenty of flexibility, would fit in well with what we've got, and the fact that it takes 24 round bales is very convenient. And if we lease one of those, so the lease to own mod doesn't mess with any of this, so that'd be 25.75. The contract we're doing, oops, is these two here. So the one we're just in the process of finishing is at 21.2. So spending 10% of the fee on the trailer that we don't have seems to make sense. I do too, Jack Sarge. I mean, I've explored that quite a lot in Griffin, Indiana. So downside of fermenting silos is you've still got to get the grass off the field to the fermenting silo, and the rate at which you collect invariably takes longer than you think, unless you use a cheaty forage wagon. So again, that's where I like your suggestion, because providing some rules of thumb as to, you know, what you're trading off might be quite useful. Now let's go back. So grabbing one of these on lease, 25.75. Well, some are, John. So if you, I had an exchange with AJ, the creator of Griffin, Indiana, when it first came out. So the base map fermenting silo that he's got on the main farm at Griffin fills up with about a third of the meadow that's right by the main farm that you start off with. But at the rate that it ferments, so you put like 150 or 175,000 litres of grass in it, it would, at the rate it ferments, it would take over a year to process all that grass, which just struck me as ridiculous. So it's so slow as to be painful, which is why in the Griffin series, in the first half dozen episodes, one of the things Kevin does is upgrade to a faster fermenting silo. So it makes a really big difference which fermenting silo you use, because the speeds vary quite markedly once you start to look at it. So 50,500 you can see is what the purchase of that would be. This one we've leased now. The lease to own mod gives us a purchase option, and as I said before, I've tweaked it. And so the purchase to pay out now, given we've already paid 2,500 as part of the lease, we've still got 57 to go. So as you can see, there's now a downside to buying it out, or a penalty because you leased it, which is a lot more realistic. Okay, in all that time, we're back at the farm. You can stop you there because they're waiting for the... It's interesting with the bunker work going on in there, everything stops outside even when our man gets stuck here. Now, where are we up to? And we're compacted, so you should finish. Would be a good idea. Are you going to go and park? That's an interesting question, given you're at 100%. You should do. Maybe. So talk some more about what you're thinking there, Jack Sarge. Are you getting at the fact that if you're going to take it in small bundles for your farm, you want it wrapped, whereas at the BGA, loose silage is fine because it goes straight in the fermenter? Is that what you're thinking? Now, the other thing, just to your point, John, they seem quicker, but that's got a lot to do with volume. right? Because we've got 826,000 litres, so we lost 4,000 litres in that process. We've got 826,000 litres here. This will be all silage in next month, so within a game done, and that's a pretty, for a fermenting silo, that's at the upper end of super fast to get that much product turned into silage that quickly. But of course it's the same rate as wrapped bales, so that's fine. I'm tempted, let's get everything else in. Where are we up to? I'm trying to think about 47 things at once. I'm not sure how many of them I'm doing well. So let's just park you over here out of the way for the minute. So what we want to do... Oh, that's what I wanted to do. We bought the trailer, so now we need it delivered. So let's phone the shop up. There's our brand spanking new trailer over there. Our delivery man sorted. So just get you around here. The delivery truck park. You want to go to Putney delivery. So we'll wait for you to arrive. Now, get in the truck, champ. There you go. Because you're going to be in the way there. Let's put you around there for the moment. Oh, I need to take him to the field to empty the harvester. That's what we brought him back for. Okay, take you off there. I think it's a volume thing, John. So it kind of feels slow if you're only putting 50,000 litres of grass in it, because then yes, a fermenting silo turns 50,000 litres of grass into silage really quickly, or for the most part. But if you're putting 10 times that in, then all of a sudden the fermenting silos actually take time to process, and that's where the difference. And because all the mods have different formulas, that's what can make it quite confusing. Certainly too, I found it confusing. Now, let's see if we can get this. Back in the bunker. Get up. I would like to cover it, ideally with most of it in the bunker. And of course, doing this uncompacts it just to be difficult. We'll figure that out in a second. Oh, why do I keep zooming out further? Come on. Fair question, Jason, and welcome along. I have no idea because I didn't play 19, so what I am seeing just from this experience here on the Oaks, which is what's prompting me to think about doing this comparative video, is that it makes quite a bit of difference what equipment you use to compact. Which is what I was talking about before. And I'm reckon the level is buggy. Yeah, that's a pretty good point, Jack Such. Let's tip that out of there. Let's just see if we can scoop that light back in a little bit. Because I know as soon as I put the tractor in to try and get it back to 100%, it'll kick it out the front again. This tractor's annoying me. 1 minute it'll do 1 mile an hour backwards, the next minute it'll do 4. I've got no idea what actually determines how fast it'll go. Righty ho. Oh, getting a bit warm here with the lights on. Might have to lose a jacket. Whoops. Okay, that'll do that bit. Get you out of the way. Used to use a semi in 19 on a bunker that size, and each time I'd back in loaded it'd be nearly 1%. Seems to be 3 to 4 passes now. As I said, that's why I want to do some tests, because our delivery's arrived and he's going to get stuck, which is interesting. Don't know why he did such a terrible job turning in there, but we'll help him out. Only because the turning circle on this is awful. Oh. Okay, let's get you around out of the way. Drop you there. Have a great day, John. Hope work is good. Is it bingo again today? If so, hope you have a good call. And we'll send you back to your parking space. You can go home on your own. So, what? Wrong tractor. I want this one. So I don't know if you saw the any of the last few streams. I've been having trouble. I was using the leveler in these bunkers, Jason, and I was losing hundreds of thousands of litres of chaff, which, needless to say, I wasn't all that thrilled about. No, come on, up you go. Whereas switching to this configuration, I reckon I've lost, well, Phil, it had 830,000 litres in here, so given that there's probably still a little bit sprinkled out the front, there we go, we're at 100%. So that 1% was pretty easy to get back. Get you back up. That concrete weight on the front's a bit deceptive. That's 3.5 tons, so. Okay. Instant fermentation for bales strikes me as being a little unrealistic. But that's just me. Why can't I wrap you? Give me a wrap option. Why can't I wrap? That's very strange. I had a wrap option before. The menu's full of options that I don't want. If I turn it off, menu. It's usually R to wrap, isn't it? Why can't I wrap? There you go. Why can I not wrap this silo now? The left shift one is a function of the hide objects mod, because it's a placeable rather than hide it, it'll just sell it. But just before I had the option to wrap it, I don't understand why I do not. Something's conflicting. Let's go and empty the harvester while we think about it. Having done all the hard yards, we've got all of the chaff compacted the way we want. There's a heap there, and now we can't wrap it. Very bizarre. Let's get our oats in. Can I squeeze in there? There we go. Beautiful. I like the idea of grass deteriorating. Like it seems to me if you leave grass or bales out in the field for an extended period, they should deteriorate. I'm not in the wrong vehicle to do that. I want to get in there. Put the header down. Let's go cut another headland. I suppose it's one of those things. It's kind of there's getting the mechanic and then there's tuning it to work with the various in-game timing options. I mean, all in all, having some better weather consequences would be a good thing, I think. You know, all the farmers I know spend a lot of time worrying about the weather. Not that they can change it, just being aware of it, whether it's for, you know, the animals or the crops. And of course, in this country, the other big topic of conversation is always water, because there's never enough. Or when there isn't enough, there's too much. If you haven't seen it already, I recommend having a look at the part of DJ Goham's 5-year stream that was on the weekend where he joined Argsy and FSG on the logging league, and was sort of, there were 3 of them, driver 53, I can't remember the other chap, and DJ Goham, and it was along with FSG and Argsy commentating, and it's worth a watch. It was quite entertaining. Right, so we'll get this headland sorted out. Probably should do 3 on this field because of the trees. As long as we get that crop off here today, the rest doesn't matter. But I do want to progress that baling contract, move on to the other field, so we'll drive round to the truck and empty. It's a bit crooked. that bit in the corner so they don't drive over it and destroy it. There we go. Whoop. Goodness me. Drunken child driving the harvester tonight. Interesting. I tripped over an article in the news here in Australia today. A growing conversation. I couldn't figure out if the article was sponsored by a lobby group or not. There's every chance that it was, but trying to sort of promote the conversation for the rights of farmers to repair equipment. And, you know, calls for end to the restrictive practices of some of the manufacturers. Let's get around there. Now let's put the boom out. Drop you in the trailer. It'll be fine. Like they wrote the article about Jack Sarge was from your neck of the woods, but by all accounts, in addition to being a farmer, he was he's either a machinist or he had particularly relevant skills for the particular problem they were highlighting, and he'd had a situation where not only did he know what needed to be fixed in his, I think it was a harvester, but he was a fully qualified 20-year veteran machinist with all of the right skills. He could have, you know, pulled down most of the vehicle if he needed to, but yet he couldn't touch it, and the problem that needed to be fixed was an embedded fuse. So yeah, that's certainly the discussion I think that's been getting some progress in the US and in Europe. I think the European Union's moved first on some of these right to repair issues, and I read correctly recently, some progress was being reported, thawing of the ice in the US, so interesting times. Okay. So what I think I'll do is I'll run up this end. Yes. I think part of the problem is that in some cases they've kind of created a warranty situation which is almost evergreen, and so it's a real problem. And I know certainly there's been some issues in Australia because the availability of skilled technicians, particularly in some of the rural areas, is insufficient, and so you've got, you know, millions of dollars worth of equipment sitting around that they're not allowed to deal with, even for apparently simple things. So, complex issue. Right, so let's just whack you on a regular worker. You can tootle away. Let's go back here. Let's turn you off. So have you decided to behave? So somehow turn on high pressure washer. There is no high pressure washer in range here, but that's what's conflicting. And because it thinks there's a high pressure washer, that's why it's not letting me. I don't have a high pressure washer. Let's go. I'm betting that's conflicts causing my problem. Let's go in here. Use object. What else has got a set? It's the Yada stuff. Don't have any of that here. Auto drive. Better contracts. Somewhere down, there's way too many keybinds. That's the first thing you notice. Towing chain with hook. Okay, am I going crazy or did I just miss something? Yeah, it's possibly the need. The thing is, though, I can't figure out where. If I had a high pressure washer nearby, I'd just delete the high pressure washer in order to do it, but I don't. I'm not actually in range of a high pressure washer. Ah, yes, it's your sponge, mate. That's unusual. I've not had that problem before. Did I somehow manage to carry it away from the bucket? I can't kill it. That's the problem. How bizarre. Okay. Blanket. There we go. So that's what it was. Somehow I was still carrying the sponge from the bucket, and as a result, it wouldn't let me blanket the silo. Very odd. Now, let's put, we don't need the heavy weight on the front. Watch your toes. The harvester's almost finished. What we can do, we'll do two things. I want to do several things actually. I want to see, are you big enough to pull the bale trailer? I'll get off. You got enough ergs. You'll tow it, but will you be able to load it? Is the question. And we'll send you to field 87. That'll do. Nope. Can do another loop of the yard. Meanwhile, where is the harvester? We'll get him when he turns around, hopefully. So our timing will be pretty good. There we go. Avoided the need Jack Sarge to get into the XML, which was nice. Let's turn that off. Why is this truck misbehaving on gears now? Oh, poo. It didn't quite get to the end because it's not on course play. It didn't come out. Back you out of there without running over the crop. Good. We'll get this field off comfortably, which will be our harvesting basically done except for the corn, which is good. Finish that row. What are you doing? Wait. AI stopped work unexpectedly. No field found. What? It is very strange. Oh, goodness me. Nobody wants to be able to reverse today. Magically, he's found the field again. There you go. I have to take this jumper off. Very warm. Okay, so let's see, where are we up to? You can wait. Okay, you're almost, I hope, where these bales are. Now, we will follow you. How close are you to the field? You're not too far away. I'm pretty sure. You're just coming down here. No, you're not too far away from the field we're aiming for, so we'll ride along. Looks like we've got Penny or Michelle in the tractor today. Tasked with bale collection. Where do the bales have to go off this field? That's a good question. 87. Oh, they're going over to our usual place, the bale sale, so that's all right. So we'll just stay with it for a sec because John might watch some of the stream when he finishes work and he wanted to see Courseplay collecting bales, which will only take a second to set that up. Pause. You've just gone steaming past, young lady. This is the field we want. You don't want to turn, do you? There is something wrong with the mechanics of this trailer. That's better. So if we want to use Courseplay, you can turn you off. Get rid of that. So now we can collect wrap bales. And we can just turn it on from here actually, and it will sort itself out, as you can see. And it works pretty darn well. It's just in a, the more open the better, but if you haven't seen it before, I'm not doing anything. It's just deciding where the bales in this field are, and it'll plot a route that takes it round to get most of them. And the only thing is, every now and again, it does make the odd mistake with obstacles on the edge of the field, I've found. Particularly if it gets itself into a situation where it can't make the turn to get out. But by and large, if it manages to get the ones off the edge pretty quickly, then it usually can sort out, and see, it will back up. So we'll leave that go and just see how far it gets. It's not costing us a lot of money because we pay the wages of our workers separately. What we want to do next is, I think I can drive it on you, is drop you off there. Over here and grab this, because we want to load our silage now and take that and sell it. Whoop. Just got to get you out of there. How did that happen? Must have managed to get it in there. Seriously? There we go. It was lowered. Right. Open you up. Open our bunker. And then let's bring a vehicle. I've managed to park the other tractor right in front of it, doing a great job of logistics management here. Just squeeze through. We can probably lose the duals off these now. No, I can't remember if I can put forage in this, silage in this wagon or not. We'll find out in a minute, I guess. Yes, we can. Okay, good to know. Back you up a little bit. A little bit underpowered, I feel. But getting the job done. It would probably be better on the tractor that we've got doing the 5465. Come on. Bit better when we get into the meat of the place. Much faster. There we go. Now we're making some serious progress. Oh, trees in the way. That's got to be getting pretty close to full, is it? Yep, 100,000 litres. That'll work. Swing through the gate from that angle. Maybe. Let's send you down. Oops. Hit the right button. Drive, pick up and deliver to the sell point, which is Fisher's Bale Sale. We don't want to deliver you before the bales get delivered is the only thing, do we? So let's just send you to the animal dealer. Thinking ahead, because if we tip silage into the sell point, there's a reasonable chance that it will credit against the contracts that are delivering there rather than give us the cash for it initially. And I want the cash. All right, down to 116. That's the number we expected. You're not running. You are. So now we can run across and empty our harvester again. Our corn's looking pretty good here. I think that's the growth stage we can draft it. So we might, ideally I'd like, why have you stopped there? Oh, because there's a trailer in the way, isn't there? Right. Run around our crop. This time the harvest is the right way round. But tomorrow's stream in 10.5 or so hours time will be back on Newlands. So we need to do a little bit of work there. We've got the need to probably sell some more pigs to the meatworks. We've probably got enough to make for some reasonable product. And we've got to get all our corn planted. That's coming along nicely here. Let's duck back and see how our trailer picking up bales is going. He's making a slow going up there. And there you go. Courseplay successfully picked up a trailer full of bales. Not bad. So I don't trust with that arms. Is there a collision on that arm? I'm not even sure I trust it anyway. We need to drive to the bale sale and deliver for the contract, because the rest of the bales that are in here will no doubt belong to us. Let's get back on the correct side of the road. I did see a good suggestion somewhere online in the last few days about introducing an option, that something that Giants could do to make traffic. So you've got a switch today which turns traffic on a map on or off. There would be great to have a third option. Do I want to go right here, or I want to go further up? Which is to turn off the collisions for traffic, so that you can still have it on, because just about every map is better with traffic on. And which way do we want to go? We want to go right here, because we want to go there. Yep. But the idea that you could turn off collisions in traffic would make a lot of the little things that you get stuck on just go away. I thought that was a very clever suggestion. Got no idea what it would entail, but it strikes me that it done in the right place, so in the models files for the vehicles themselves, it should be quite straightforward. Exactly. Yeah, I just thought, oh, yeah, that's a really clever suggestion. Yeah, it's a thing, Jack Sarge. You just reach out and press that button. Who knew 24 bales of straw or silage are heavy? About 15 tonne according to the little indicator, 14 tonne including the trailer. We do need to, that's our field just there. I'd really like to lime. Yeah, I did in my early days in the game found it increasingly bizarre that you've got people have gone to all the trouble of putting road traffic signs like stop signs on maps, and yet the AI logic pays absolutely no attention to them at all. Gives them no regard whatsoever. And again, just a simple mechanic in the creation of the spline as an addition would allow you to set that as a point where the, you know, if it's a stop sign, that the vehicle automatically waits and checks an extended period for collisions in either direction. That'd be simple logic. Who knew? We'll be at the dealer shortly. We can plonk these down. What's the bet they credit against the contract we haven't started yet? That'll be the next thing. I have now put enough hours in on this map that I'm hanging out for slightly more horsepower. I'm liking all the activities that we can get done. It's just taking a little while to get places. And we're so close. Ooh, I should move over a little bit. Steady stream of cars in this section. There's the gate. Okay, there's our trailer of silage has stopped, which is nice. We'll tootle in. Back you up. And as I expected, we've delivered for the other contract. 20% transported for field 75, 25%, 30%, 35%, 40%. Okay. So, oh, and some of them didn't go into the sell point. That was nice of you. I managed to tip them off the side. This will be easier with no trailer on the back. Oh, hang on a minute. How many bales are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About half of them. I think I've got the mod which will let me roll them. Let's have a look. Ah, I also have the ability to unwrap them. There we go. Okay, so remember for next time that the trigger is a little bit closer to the center of the grill, not out where the hash markings are. I thought I was comfortably within it. So as it turns out, we finished the delivery for the contract on 75. And we're 30% on 87. Right. Now, harvester needs an empty. So we'll just send you back to field 87. Where are we here? You can doodle over there. Probably just about time to think about emptying in our silo, I guess. Is the front trailer full? Quite. Do you first. Which map are you currently on, Jack Sarge? There we go. Might go and empty him while I'm thinking about it. We just need to get our baling sorted. Ravensburg. Not familiar with Ravensburg. Yeah, I remembered. I remembered that you were playing 19. Drop you in. It sounds a bit European. Oops. I don't know if you get any noise when I bump the mic, but apologies. Now, might as well park the trailer in. Whoops. Did a really lousy job of that. What I was trying to do was just Put the trailer on the side by the wall there. What strikes me is that's not an unreasonable place to leave that trailer. Now we've just got to remember that I actually put it there. No doubt we'll lose it and wonder why I can't find it. But we're close enough, we should be able to just use the truck. I reckon once we get into the new year here, all being well, we should be able to start thinking about another field. I don't know what the prices are like. What's our, oops, wrong picture. That's the one I want. So 64 is certainly one I'd like to pick up, along with 69 and 70 ultimately. What's 1.2 million? That's going to take a little while. 69, 270. That might be more achievable. So that's basically a million litres of silage. $63. Okay. Well, there's a couple of things to contemplate. Let's go find our trailer. That leave you there, leave you there. You must almost be back. You are. This was the problem we had before. You're going to go zooming past. Whoa! I should have my wheel sit on straight up and down when I turn off the auto drive. And then we'll avoid going zooming off into the trees or into the field. The one I want? Yeah. We can do this ourselves, I guess, for the ones that are left here. A little bit of in-game marshmallow hunting. The question is, what we need to do is go and get 75 and baled. Go through there, aren't I? because in reality we're just going to sell these anyway. There's no point in storing them. Let's go around and get one on the other side. Oh, missed. I was doing so well. Visibility's really quite good out of this tractor. It's better. We got 4 more down there. That'll give us a half a trailer. Should be able to get these. Got him. Nailed it. Very good. That, no more white dots in the field. Not down that way, not down that way. Excellent. So that's 87 that's done. Save for just a few more delivered. So now we just need to cut 75. So if we drop the trailer off at 75, which is, where are we here? We're here, so we go up and around. That'll do. The baler's there, so straight up, turn right and right. So we can do that. The baler is just near that field. We can drop this trailer off there and run back and get windrower, and we'll need the mowers. Time we get there, it'll be time to go and empty the harvester again, no doubt. It's been a productive session. It's a nice looking shed, wouldn't mind something like that. All these wants, not enough cash. How often's that the case? That's a big field. There's 74, 75's flashing off to the right-hand side up here. Probably could have gone right there and come in on the back of it, I suspect. We'll do it this way. 73 just on our right hand side with the church. Pretty sure that's 75 right at the end of the road up here. There it is. So now we just need to find somewhere out of the way. Park. Just there on the right. There's no entrance here. Which way? Feels like I should have gone left and then right, but we'll just do this. Okay, there's the entrance to the field. We'll park the trailer over here. Block this farmer's, he's already seeded, so we'll block that there for him. Right. You can navigate back on your own. So go to Putney Main Yard. And meanwhile, we'll jump back. That's what I want. Let's go empty the harvester. Feeling like a bowl of ice cream might be required. Just to remember that summer's only just finishing. Right you are. Have we had any big tractors pop up in the sale? Okay, that Kubota's gone. Our little lizard thingy's still there. Sprayer. Still crap tractors. Well, nothing wrong with the Zeta, but they're too small for what we want. You could do a lot worse than the Horse as well too. But not right now. Actually, the horse would be a better buy than the Kubota planter would have been. 9 meters, that's a serious upgrade on our ability to get corn and ultimately sugar beet in the ground. Do I know if the Horse is PC only? That's a very good question. Let me see if I can answer that question for you. Bear with me just 1 second. Click on there. It might be quicker for me to go to the mod hub actually, because you in alphabetical order. Just scrolling. The trouble is there's lots of mods on at the moment. Forage pickup. Porsche. Which one is it? It's the Pronto, I think. No, it's the Maestro. Porsche. Okay, that'd be too easy. Horse Pronto, Horse Toronto, Horse Tiger. Let's see. Doesn't tell me there, does it? The fact that it's got no options, I'd say, is a reasonable chance. Because it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything clever. There's no reason that's obvious to me that it should have a script. Let's go over here to the mod hub and look under planters. Porsche Maestro 12W is all platforms, PS4, PS5, Xbox and Xbox S. So all good. Crossplay enabled. So you should be good to go there, Jason. We might we're just not quite gonna have enough money, I don't think. We really, where are you up to? I'm not quite ready for it. Unload. You need to go to field 75. Another one of the young ladies. You can grab the winner. You can also go to 75. Well, as it turned out, I probably could have sent you up on the landy and taken that more mower set up. Never mind. We'll get you off here. You can run over with the small mower set. When the 3670 comes back from selling the silage. We can send. It'll get a little bit congested up at field 75 shortly. But we'll be in good shape. So when we come back on Friday, Thursday afternoon, evening, Friday morning, that we should be cashed up. We'll be ready to harvest, forage harvest the corn, I think, if we have a quick look. Let's just see here. Which great, yeah, we're in final growth stage, so the corn is ready to harvest. Get there before harvester gets to the end and empty him. Nope, because I don't have enough acceleration. I tried. You're going to turn now, you bugger. And you're going to get halfway down the run. Now you're going to drive through the crop. If you cut your headlands the right size, the latest version of Course Play is quite clever in end of row. The way it works with some of the different harvesters. Let's doodle up the field. Dawdle up the field, I should say. Bit of fuel wouldn't go astray in the truck either. Yeah, we'll turn around, we'll punt that he makes it. You're not going to back all the way down, are you? No. Yes, you are. With any luck, the bit over there will get in a single tank, and this will be our cereal harvest completamundo. To judge the speed as it fills up. Just him finish there. We'll go on empty. But that's where we might leave it tonight, folks. We're just about done here. And as I was saying before, I'll progress, just mow 75 and get those last few bales delivered so that we're cashed up and we're in a position to do the second half of September on Friday's stream. We'll get that corn in, because that's why we're selling the silage straight out of this right hand bunker, because that's where we're going to put the corn, and we'll be in a good spot. So making some progress. But thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been great. Good chatting to you. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you can, join me on Newlands in about 10.5 hours time. See you later, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.